Hi everybody, welcome to part 2 of my wood stove extravaganza. I forgot to mention it in part 1, but I wanted to let you know that parts 1 and 2 were actually filmed way back in November, and I've basically just been procrastinating since then. That's a ridiculous amount of procrastination. I've been very successful. So today's video, part 2, starts with me buying the flue pipes and the bits and bobs that I need, and it ends in some frustration. So things didn't go quite as planned, but I did make some progress. If you haven't seen part 1, click up there somewhere and have a watch. I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll check in again at the end. This is gonna be expensive, but hopefully it solves all my problems. I'm doing it right this time, because last time was not how it's supposed to be done. So this is insulated, this is an adapter. I have the insulated bigger pipe, and yeah, insulated corner. There's a lot of stuff here. I have no idea what this will cost. My guess is about 250 euros for all this, which is painful, but I need it. Okay, it's a new day. I've been and gone to the wood stove store. I've got some more pipes, shiny and new. Some of them are gonna get painted black, which I'll do now. I already know that I forgot one very important thing, and that's the bracket to hold the outer pipe onto the wall. If you don't have a bracket around it to secure it to the wall, potentially it could just be flipping and flopping all over the place in the wind, and that would be bad. The thing that's holding me up at the moment, though, is my lack of an angle grinder. It's still out for repair. Who knows when the thing will be done. So that's just a waiting game, basically. I might end up buying an angle grinder, a corded one. Hopefully it runs off of the solar generator that I have. I think you can get them for about 70 euros. So that's my new plan. I might head into the shop next week. But my point is that I can't yet put the larger pipe through the wall because I need a bigger hole. So that's kind of holding up the whole operation. But what I'm going to do today is basically take everything out. I have a few pieces of the pipe that I want to spray paint black. I want to assemble certain pieces together. And once I do all that, it should let me know whether all the pieces I bought are pieces I actually need. I'm not 100% sure on that. And whether there's any pieces that are missing. Okay, so I've got a whole bunch of wood stove things here. This is the little hat that goes on the top to keep the water out. Because the outside pipes are now much thicker, I just had to rebuy everything. But that's okay because I'm going to give my old pipes to a friend who can hopefully put them to good use. This is the mushroom style. There's a bunch of different types of styles. That one's worked okay for me, so I'm just going to stick with it. And that's all they had, so I'm just going to stick with it. And so then this is going to be my outer pipe. And then in here, we have the inner pipe. So this inner pipe here is going to be what's actually connected to the stove. And then this outer pipe will be fastened into the wall permanently with stones around it, with lime around it. And it'll allow me to slide this guy in and out whenever I need to clean the stove. I wasn't sure how to accomplish this being able to pull the pipe in and out thing, and this was the idea I came up with. But like many things, you've never heard of anyone doing it before, so you wonder if your idea is like crazy or really unorthodox or really stupid. But I've discussed my idea with a few friends, and they were like, that's how I would do it too. So that gives you a little bit of confidence that this is actually going to work. This one, I might reuse the old one, or I might just use this one, but inside here, oops, like, let's see, like this. So this one will go inside, connect in like this, somehow, and then connect to the pipe that goes out of the house, which is this one here. These two are going to be spray painted black, which I'll do a little later this morning, as will the inner pipe. Because on the inside of the house I want it to match the actual stove. Outside I don't care so much. So that's what those are. This guy here, so imagine this is the pipe that's coming through the wall. So this guy here will go into this pipe on the outside of the house, and it'll just bring everything up a step to the larger size. And then I have this Big Daddy outer pipe. So this one, yeah, goes on the outside. It's insulated, hopefully keeps everything nice and toasty in there so there's no condensation, so I don't have a problem with creosote. We'll see. I really hope it works because, like I said, this has been a very expensive endeavor. So another thing I bought was spray paint. This stuff goes up to 300 degrees Celsius, so you can't just use any old paint. I think you need to buy special fire resistant, heat resistant spray paint. This stuff seems to scratch off quite easily, so I've saved a bit to apply after installation because this stuff's expensive and I'd be annoyed if I had to buy an entirely whole new can just to fix a few little scratches and things. So I've got a bit left over, and now I'm going to assemble the outer pipe and see what that looks like. I think this is a job that requires gloves because these things are really sharp and this isn't going in quite how I expected. Hat on. Now I'll do the bend. Okay, job done, and this thing is surprisingly heavy. So I'm just going to leave it on the table for now. And what is my next step? I guess I need to get an angle grinder, and I need to think about putting this pipe through the wall at a 45-degree angle. Still more to do, but I feel like I've made some good progress this morning, and time to move on to the next job. It's a beautiful day in Fundao, just hanging out in the industrial zone, and I have the final piece to the puzzle. This guy will help me fasten the pipe onto the side of the house so it doesn't flop around everywhere. So I have the piece that I need to finish the installation of my new flue pipe, but as you can see, the old flue pipe remains. And that's because this is only one piece of the puzzle. The other piece of the puzzle is a working angle grinder so I can make the hole there larger to fit the outer pipe. My angle grinder is broken and it has been in the repair shop for a long time. But I can't wait around forever to do this job. So I've got this angle grinder that I picked up for about 70 euros. It's a corded angle grinder. It's much cheaper than the battery operated ones. I'm still hopeful I can get my Makita fixed at some point, but this is going to do the job in the meantime. So I'm going to plug it into the generator that I have, the Bluetti big fancy solar generator, and that should power this quite nicely. And I just need to cut the hole. All right, let's get this thing out of the box. And assembled and plugged in, and hopefully it works okay. Okay, feels pretty robust for a relatively affordable angle grinder. Quite heavy. So first things first, I'll plug it in and see if it works because these things are not guaranteed with solar. I actually bought an angle grinder a couple months ago when mine first broke, and I don't know how many watts it was, but it was enough that the Bluetti battery should have handled it. But it didn't. It started, but then it would kind of stop immediately. So I don't really know what the deal was with that. I basically just took it back to the store because I hadn't used it for anything yet. So same with this one. I'm just going to fire it up before I actually assemble anything, make sure it works, and then I can put all the pieces together and get it dusty and gross. Oh, I forgot to turn the AC on in the house. One moment. AC on. Okay, let's try again. Moment of truth part 2. Yeah, send it again. What is this about? I don't think my generator can handle the starting up of this. That's really, really annoying. Let me go fire the generator up again and see what it does. This is very frustrating. So I had to turn the generator back on again. It's like when I turn this on, it blows the generator and it automatically shuts down. So moment of truth part 3. There's really no reason why this will work, but I'll try anyways. Oh. Okay, so it started once, and then the second time I tried to get it to go, the generator will have switched off. So I have no idea what's going on. It's like I'm cursed to live with angle grinders that start sometimes and don't start other times. This one is only about 750 watts, so it should actually work on my house solar system. So I'm going to plug it in there, and I'm afraid to kind of have the whole thing shut down because I don't really remember how to start it all back up again. I have that information somewhere. But I guess I'll just do that, and if it works in the house but it doesn't work with the generator, then maybe there's some kind of issue with the generator. Who knows? Who knows? So let me go replug everything into the solar system and come back out and try attempt number 4. So I'm actually going to plug everything into this generator so that when I use the angle grinder, the only thing on my system is going to be the angle grinder and the lights. AC on. So this moment of truth, number 4, is a little bit scarier than the other ones because if this doesn't work and it trips my solar system, I have to figure out how to turn the whole thing back on. I don't remember. I have a video somewhere on my computer, but I'll have to dig that out, and it's just not how I was planning on spending my time today. So I really hope this works. Fingers crossed that this goes okay. Moment of truth number 4, I'm counting on you. Don't let me down. Sweet. I love that sound. I love that sound. So my solar system, it's come through. Where the gigantic Blue Eddy generator failed me, I don't know what's up with that. I'll have to investigate why it's not starting this up. Very curious because it should be more powerful than my actual house system. But I'll look into it and I will report back at some point in the future when I figure things out. So for the moment, I guess I'll assemble this guy and start thinking about my master plan for the flue. I am a little scared. My house is going to get super dusty because I have to do some grinding on the inside. And it's just going to be an all-around annoying kind of job, but I've been putting this off for so long and I'm just excited to have it done. So I'm probably talking because I'm actually afraid of doing the work, so I'm just going to shut up and I'm going to go get started rather than just waffling on. Here I am waffling on again. All right. Let's put this guy to good use. The pipe that's going through the wall is slightly larger than the pipe that's currently going through the wall. And as you can see, it's a very, very tight fit, both there and also down here at the bottom. The outside is probably fine on the other side of the wall because I was removing stones, so I can just sort of chip those out again. But in here, I don't really want to remove this entire stone just to get this piece off. And I'm not exactly sure yet if I need to take that stone out at the bottom or grind it. There should be a little bit of space there. So this could be the only piece that I have to get rid of, and it's really just a slight chunk there. There's also a piece up here that could be problematic, which might foil my master plan, but we'll see. So that's the work that needs to be done, and let me try to explain what my idea is. Hello from the top of the ladder. So one of the things that's been scaring me is if I remove this entire pipe system, how do I then make sure I have the correct angle for the tube that's going in? How do I know kind of where to cut the stones and everything? So my idea is to, instead of taking the entire thing out and trying to just guess at the 45-degree angle and the correct location, I'm actually just going to remove this top portion of the pipe. So the hat, and then the 45 angle, and then this little extender. And then I can take the larger pipe and I can slide it over top of this pipe that's going to be in the wall still. And then that's going to mean that I'll have the perfect location. So it's a slightly intimidating job, but I do have an evil master plan afoot. And I think if I just go slow and impatient, I'll get it done. And I'll make my house very dusty in the process. Damn it, I do this every time. I think I want the guard. Oh well. So this seems like a pretty good angle for the guard to go on at. It's difficult to know if it's going to get in your way until you actually start using it, so fingers crossed it works okay, because angle grinders without the guard on them are slightly terrifying. So I've got some fairly minimal dust protection here, and there, and I'm going there. So this job really sucks. I've been going at it for about half an hour, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it done. It's quite difficult to get into that part. I'm sort of almost there. It's all about grinding some little paths, and then you get in there with the hammer and chisel and just kind of slowly chip it out. So it's kind of brutal. It's kind of brutal. There's a lot of dust, and I feel tired and dirty. I think I've got stones and dust under my hat somehow. So that job is no joke. It's very tiring. It's super dusty in my house, so I've retreated outside for a sip of water, and then I'm gonna head back in. So this is tough. This is a tough job. Even if I do manage to get the stone out, I'm not 100% sure I'll try to put the pipe over top. I might just leave it as it is. We'll see. Sometimes I get a second wind, but I'm really feeling quite drained from this work. So after this little water break, I'm just gonna go back to it. And if I do get the courage and strength and energy to actually work on the pipe after the rock comes out, if the rock comes out, then I'll start filming again. But for now, it's just a dusty nightmare in there, and I don't even want my camera in the dust. So I've got everything kind of wrapped up in the house, and I'm just continually chipping away at the rock. So I'm literally chipping away at this job. I'll finish this water, I'll take a little rest, and I'll go back into the dust storm. But it is all very enjoyable, I gotta say. If I can get this job done and off my list, I'll be very happy. If the wall collapses in the process, I would be unhappy. It's about 50-50 at this stage. We'll see. I really don't know. Rocks are falling down from places that I don't know where they're coming from. Anyway, it's all part of the fun. What an incredibly unpleasant job that was, and still is. I haven't finished. I'm not sure I'll be able to get that stone out, even if I take the pipe out, so I think I'm gonna call it a day on that job and give it some thought. I'll just keep everything as it is and hope the wall doesn't fall down. Should be fine. Maybe. Yeah, so kind of a fail on that one, but I've only been going at it for about 45 minutes. It's just awkward, and it's hard to have the mask on in there. It's hot, and it's just a really annoying job. I think the angle grinding stone, I don't think it's my favorite. There's a lot of jobs I like. Wheelbarrowing, shoveling, love them. Angle grinding, not really. Not my favorite, not my passion. So, the stove job remains unfinished, but soon. I feel confident it'll be done. So my house is super dusty. I'm super dusty. I'm gonna sit out here and let the dust literally settle in there before I go back in. I will have to wash everything I own again. A lot of dishes to do. Everything will have a slight film of dust over it. Stone dust, not exactly edible. Yeah, kind of a funny, frustrating old day today. But tomorrow is a new day, and I've got some ideas for how to tackle this job still. And when it's done, I'll be very proud of myself. It might take 1,000 years to get there, but I'm confident I'll get this job done eventually. So, see you on a new day. Possibly tomorrow, possibly not. We'll see. Good morning, everybody. It's a brand new day. I'm feeling a lot more energetic and a little less dusty after yesterday's Armageddon inside my house. Unfortunately, the dust storm in there didn't actually accomplish what I was hoping to accomplish. And I still have to come up with a plan to get the larger pipe into the space. I think it's going to involve taking out a stone. It could be quite a finicky operation, and it's probably better with 2 people. But luckily, I have a neighbor coming around. He thinks he's helping me with the firewood, but I think today I might actually also aim to get that pipe in. Okay, the stone is out, and this is really quite terrifying to see that daylight there, especially since tomorrow it's going to chuck it down with rain. And I don't think I have room to put the pipe in just yet. And the reason is I have a hunch that this is going to be in the way, but what I'm going to do is try to pull this pipe out, try to put the larger pipe in, and see how I go. But I have a feeling I might have to grind this part off, which hopefully won't be too difficult. Okay, so the pipe is partway through the hole, and it looks like it's just getting a little bit hung up on this little bit of the rock there, I think. Yeah, so it's just a teeny tiny bit that I need to grind, and then hopefully it'll come through on the angle that I need it to come through on. But I can also just move the stove around a little bit in order to get the pipe where it needs to be, because yeah, getting this in place is the trickiest part of the whole operation. So I have a bit of grinding to do, and then hopefully I'll be good. So I've got it through, which is amazing, but I think it's a little bit too crooked. I'd like to be able to get it going a bit more that way, which means I probably need to take off a bit more of this rock. Sorry for not filming this, but this is quite a frustrating job, and I just want to get on with it. So I'll just keep checking in at each stage. Hope that's okay. So I've got Chris up the ladder working on the stove. Not just a firewood guy, also, what is this, like a waterproof?
It's just a temporary little
hack.
garter around there, so the water will come down here on both sides, or mainly here, hit this area, and then just work its way along and then down.
Great, because I have a gaping hole in my wall currently, and tomorrow it's gonna rain, what, like 20 mils or something?
Yeah, easily.
So this, I never would have thought of this idea, so this is really, really cool. And hopefully I get a break in the weather and I can get this all limed in place. Yeah, awesome. And I'm gonna stuff the gaps with this rock wool that I have in this bag here. So hopefully that keeps my place dry. Okay, I'm gonna end part 2 of my wood stove saga there. Chris's solution with the tape kept my place dry during all those crazy rainy December weeks. So thanks, Chris, for that. I never would have thought of that idea in a million years, and it's totally done the trick, along with me stuffing loads of rock wool into the holes. I hope you're enjoying this series about Mr. Burns' My Wood Stove. I know it's long, I know it's a lot of detail to go into, but this has kind of consumed my life for a while, and I've done a lot of filming. And rather than drag it out over several weeks, I just wanted to put it together in 3 videos so I can move on to other things. I've been doing loads of filming, I've been doing loads of different jobs around the place, and I'm eager to share those with you. So that's why I kind of just want to bang everything out, 1, 2, 3, get the wood stove content out there, and then move on to something else. So that's been part 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Part 3 is tomorrow. If you like what you see, please do share, subscribe, comment, and all that stuff. And I'll see you in the next video.